How does a world-renowned professional dancer end up here in the Keys? We'll tell you how this morning. I had the opportunity to sit down with the very talented Maurizio Nardi from the Martha Graham Dance Company. Now, Maurizio went from Italy to New York City, right here to the beautiful Florida Keys.
To be part of the Martha Graham Company was a fantastic experience. It's a kind of dance that I have admired since I got to know the Martha Graham dance vocabulary and technique. I was thoroughly attracted with the way she moved, the way she made the body speak. And why she did it, the motivation behind everything you do. It was so intricate and so visceral and so passionate. I was very, very attracted to it.
Was being a dancer something that you always dreamed of becoming?
No, really. It's something that I found myself in it. It's almost like, you wake up and you're a dancer. It's something I haven't really planned from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's a point in life when you do make a decision and to make it as a career, really push hard to it.
When did you decide to make it as your career?
It was at the time where I was starting to develop a great appreciation for dance and a lot of interest. And I knew then that I had to really put 100% into it. It was at the time when I got my first contract as a real professional dancer. All the cards were start lining up. And, you always have to meet the right person at the right time. And things were falling into places. And I had to leave my high school and have to leave my studies. And since I did not have that solidity behind me, I really had to push hard to prove everybody that I could make it as a dancer. And also have, to prove myself. But I was kind of sure that one day I was going to make myself what I wanted to be. So.
Mission accomplished. You did that.
I did. I worked hard for it.
You definitely worked very hard for it. When did you come over to the States?
I came to New York with a vacation trip. An organization in Italy organized this trip for students and dancers. They want to study abroad in New York City. You spend 3 weeks staying at the New York University and you explore different dance schools in New York. Of course, I was already taking Graham classes at the time in Italy. So one of my choice of studies were the Graham School. At the Graham School in the summer, they have scholarship auditions, and I said, well, why not? Let's try it. And, I don't know, see, by luck or by merit, whatever. So yeah, I got the scholarship and I came back in September of '98.
What an experience that must have been. Maurizio, to be a professional dancer, it has to be so stressful, so competitive, so demanding. What would you say was your biggest challenge that you faced?
Myself. Yes, there is always people around you and you measure yourself with who's coming and even if they are in the company or not in the company with you, among the dance community, you end up knowing people or seeing other dancers and seeing the quality around you. And I try not to measure myself compared to anybody else, although it's inevitable, but I think that the greatest fight I had, it's with myself, try to push myself as far as I could, try to learn things I didn't know and try to really define the things that I knew to make them even better. And I think that once I got myself to a good level, then I could stand out next to somebody else. This wasn't just competing with anybody else. I don't try to be better than anybody else. I just try to be myself, so that I'll be unique.
And you mentioned to me at the beginning that you wanted to prove to yourself, you wanted to prove to others that you could make this career as a professional dancer.
Because I moved to the United States, a lot of my friends have, my grandparents have never seen me dance professionally as a grown-up professional dancer. So it was a unique performance for me because I finally got to perform very close to home, and I have everybody that have never seen me before. And that was such a proof, not only to myself, I was like, here, that's what I do. This is me.
What would you say was your most memorable experience through the Martha Graham Dance Company?
They brought me to great places. I got to see the world touring as an artist. What a privilege to go and meet other artists in different parts of the world and see other cultures, taste other food. We weren't just there to dance. I mean, yes, that was the main motivation for the company. For me as an artist, it was the whole package, And I danced in places that were incredible. I mean, I think one of the greatest experiences that I can recall is dancing at the Herodiot Atticus in Greece, at the Acropolis. It's one of the most historical theater in the world. It contains up to 5,000 human beings, and once you're on stage, you see the Acropolis up there illuminated and this wall of human beings just around you. It's just unbelievable. And knowing that such stage was that's a great variety of artists have performed on such stage, that makes me feel very proud of what I did.
You made the decision just a couple months ago to retire from dancing.
I retired from being a full-time dancer with a company. It's a bittersweet, because I love dearly everybody that I work with. I love dearly the company. There's just something, sometimes you can hear the clock ticking, and you know it's time, because there is great happiness and there is also great sadness. There were part of me that weren't happy anymore. So I started questioning why I was not happy anymore. What is it that wasn't making me happy? I wasn't happy to go to the studio and prepare myself to the level that I'm supposed to be prepared to do such a job. And I thought it was kind of like cheating. I always admired dance for the great level of discipline. And I felt that I kind of lost a little bit that devotion to discipline, not to dance, but to discipline. And so it was kind of disrespectful to dance itself. So if you want to do it, you have to do it right, and you have to do it well, or otherwise you're not,
Definitely understandable. Now, Maurizio, how did we get so fortunate to have you here in the Keys?
I lived for 16 years in New York City, from one studio apartment to the other, and always fighting the subway lines and the chaos, and come down to the Florida Keys. It's almost like stepping to a different planet. The garden, it's my pride and joy, It sounds crazy, every morning with my coffee, I go and talk to my plants and see what kind of, if they have flowers sprouting out, or what's growing, what's need attention. It's kind of crazy, but living in New York, except for one potted plant, that was it.
I, for one, am happy that you're here, because this is where I met you. Maurizio, you are taking your dance skills and you're teaching other people right now. Tell us a little bit about a summer program that you've started up here in the Keys.
Yes. I used to come down to Key West vacationing, and I thought what a beautiful place it would be. There is a lot of art and a lot of artists, most of them retired, but there is a lot of painters, writers, singers, musicians. Yet there wasn't much dance, really, obviously, because it's such a small community. You're not going to have a professional dance school in Key West. You're not going to have a professional dance company in Key West. There is not the social structure to support such effort. But I thought it would be a great place for a summer study. Who doesn't want to spend, great summer months or a week studying dance in Key West? And so I invented this little dance workshop where I bring some of the colleagues that I met in New York City from different other dance companies, different other style of dance. And so I attract for 1 week, students. We had students coming from Italy, from Las Vegas, from upstate Florida. And we have a great response from the local community. Really, that's what is the driving force that always reminded me that I should really do this. And now, since I have retired, I have incorporated as a not-for-profit organizations that will support this effort. So let's say that, I take it to the next level. So I'm hoping, to really grow as a program and develop it so that we can really attract people from, other colleges outside of the Florida state, show up the beauty of Key West, and, and give them a little insight on different styles of dances that they may have not studied.
They're learning from the best.
They're learning from some very good people. I'm proud that I have a lot of great dancers friends that love to come down here. They bag me every year. Can I please come and teach in Key West?
Maybe one day you can give me dance lessons,
Absolutely.
Maurizio. Just have patience with me.
I have a lot of patience.
All right. Well, thank you again
Thank
for
you,
being
Jenna.
here with us and inviting us into your beautiful home.
Thank you. Thank you.